is understand your purpose. What is your why? What's your reason for being? And the reason why we went into this field is for a particular reason. And so how can you incorporate all the knowledge that you learn in textbooks and in academia and practical and apply that in practical knowledge?
Welcome to Experienced Army Medicine Interviews. Our mission is to interview local medical professionals within the Army so they can detail their impact in medicine today. Today's interview is with Major Darnell Durrah, 73 Bravo, clinical psychologist. She hails from Weed Army Community Hospital, Fort Irwin, California.
My last name is Durrah, first name is Darnell, and my ALC is a 73 Bravo. So I enlisted first. I was in reserves. I initially tried to join after high school, but I wanted to go to college. I didn't want to do ROTC, although my friends was like, hey, you should do ROTC. While they was getting for PT, I was just coming home. But after I got my master's degree, I started seeing those student loans. I was like, you know what? I need to be all I can be. And so I ended up talking to a recruiter, had a good recruiter. I enlisted. I was in the reserves for about 7 years, and I went back to school to get my PhD in psychology. And then when I went to BOLIC, I was at BOLIC with all these psychology interns. I was like, whoa, tell me more about this. All of a sudden, I applied to the sites that I wanted to apply to. I got accepted, and it was a determination between a civilian internship and a military one. I chose the military, they chose me. That's how I came on active duty. My first duty station after my internship and residency, I was talking about internship and residency. Did that at Fort Sam Houston, BAMSI. To me, I think it was the best internship and residency in the Army out of the sites. I had a good connection. I had some good supervisors to this day I still keep in contact with, whether were civilian or military, still in the military or not. They were able to provide me some just supervision, oversights, mentorship that I cherish to this day. And then that helped me and led to me being a more competent psychologist. When I went to my first duty station at Fort Wainwright up at 1st Striker Brigade up in Alaska, I was alone but unafraid, because of the supervisors that I had down at Fort Sam Houston doing my internship and residency. And they taught me, to be that all I could be and go out there and do the best I could be, but just be me. And then since being a psychologist in the Army, I've been able to really just be me and really be successful in just being me. And then after leaving Fort Wainwright, I went to Fort Cavazos, 2nd Armored Brigade, 1st Cavalry Division. And then I was on division staff. I was a psychologist, that's not even a position, but because of leaders who saw potential in me, they created positions for me. And then here I am now as the Director of Psychological Health at Fort Irwin, which is to me one of my favorite locations. Yeah, so every location for me is my favorite location, right? Because I think you have to really just embrace where you are. I learned years ago, growing up in streets in Compton, it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. And wherever you are, you will give respect, because I think you'll go a long way that way. So I've embraced wherever I've been at, and it's really make the best out of every experience, whether it's, cross-country skiing in Alaska, doing some snowshoeing, right? Whether it's mountain biking out in the hill countries in Texas, to dirt biking out here at Fort Irwin, right? Things you do off time. It's just I've been able to really experience and enjoy my time. So obviously, my current position is my favorite position. The Army has really prepared me for that transition. I've been in now 19 years, been a psychologist on active duty now for almost 12 years now. So I think I want to say it's a sacrifice. I think having some stability once you eventually get out, right? I think being flexible, the Army teaches you flexibility. So for the last 19 years, every 3 years or so, I've been moving around, going to different places. So that gives me a sense of an advantage to a lot of civilians don't, because that's all I know is one place. Whereas me, I'm flexible and adaptable. I'm not as rigid. And so it's like, hey, I take things with an open mindset. So I think that's going to really be a benefit for me, and it's going to be able for me to really name my price. I tell people about America's premier training location, 'cause that's what this is, right? This is a hidden jewel for me. So we're in the middle of nowhere, but close to everywhere. We have 3 international airports within driving distance, really 4, right? San Diego, Ontario, LAX, and then Las Vegas. My mom has dementia, so me being here, I'm able to get home as often as I need to. It's with no traffic, I can get home anywhere from an hour and 45 minutes to 220. The opportunity to really experience California, experience Southern California, and this the West Coast and the Army has been amazing for me. It's an Army community hospital, right? It's not a huge med center. You're not at the BAMSEs, the Walter Reeds, the Joint Base Lewis McChord, where you have all these different layers of leadership. Here it's like, hey, I can use my skill set and my experience to do the things that I feel is right. So for me, it's my rater is the deputy commander of clinical services and the hospital commander. And so if you show yourself approved, guess what? They're going to trust you and give you that latitude to go explore. We've been able to do some things here that I wouldn't be able to go anywhere else and do in the position that I'm in. So that's another reason why I love it here. So one of the things I would really recommend, right, is understand your purpose. What is your why? What's your reason for being? And the reason why we went into this field is for a particular reason. And so how can you incorporate all the knowledge that you learn in textbooks and in academia and apply that in practical knowledge? So, but outside of all that, what's your why? Why did you go in the field of psychology? So here it is, you get an opportunity to whether do testing, whether do individual therapy, do group therapy, whether do consultation. It's a plethora of opportunities in the military that you can do, but you got to understand, what is your why? And if you understand your why, remember your why, when challenges arise, which they will come, whether it be in the military or civilian world, understanding your why, it will allow you to continue to flourish in the military.
Thank you for listening in on our Experience Army Medicine interviews. We hope that these interviews help encourage your own path into a healthcare career. If you enjoyed the interview, please don't forget to like, follow, and share our content as we continue to dive deeper into Army medicine. Be all you can be,